Hey, good morning. Every time I post about tax deeds and the tax deed sales, people always have lots and lots of questions. So today, I thought it would be great uh, to go ahead and give you an idea of what's happening with the tax deed sale. Every single day in the United States, there is some form of a tax deed sale, and definitely every week in all of the counties, hundreds across the entire United States. And today is the Putnam County, Florida. So this is all of the tax deed sales in Florida. And so this video is not to go into detail to explain what a tax deed is, simply because if I could turn your attention to the screen that you see, this is the live tax deed sale that is going on. And so I am going to show you this, and then we can jump back into a different video training at some point and show you and tell you what a tax deed is, tax liens, how to bid, how to choose, and so on and so forth. So, never mind my face, look behind me. All right, so now we had about, I want to say 130, give or take, different tax deeds that went up for auction for Putnam County today. And this is March 13th, 2024. And this one here, you see less than 10 seconds. The high bid was 3,000. This one has changed. That one sold. So now we're starting. This one is case number 2017 0001189. This is the certificate. The opening bid is $1,851.79. And right now you see that the high bid is currently $2,810. There are now 22 seconds remaining. This parcel ID is the number you look up for the property at the property appraisal's office and online, of course. Now, when you do your due diligence a week or so leading up to the sale, and this is the property address, and this one has not been assigned, which means it's likely vacant land with no improvements, as in well, septic, sheds, electric, none of that. So, again, the opening bid on this one was $1,851.79. The high bid right now, with 38 seconds to go, is $3,010. Now, you may say, hey, wait, you said that there was 22 seconds remaining, and now it's back at 25. And that is because um, when someone has made a bid, the time goes back and gives other folks time, a set number of seconds, to then place another bid. And so it's less than 10 seconds remaining. But if for some reason I came in here and placed a bid right now, then the time would go back into whatever increments they have set in place. And you couldn't see what it sold for, but it looks like it sold for $3,010. Okay, here is the next one. And I apologize, I know it's going fast, but you see, as soon as they stop one and it sells, automatically it jumps back right to the next one. And so we have to be able to just go fast, stay close, and you won't see what they're selling for unless you're just paying attention as the numbers are changing. However, I'm going to go back and do another video as a follow-up to this one and go through and show you what each and every one of these properties sold for. It's 130 of them, so we're going to go fast, but I'll still show you. All right, so we have 1 minute remaining. The high bid is $2,280. This one is also in an unassigned location, and the opening bid was $1,786.03. That is the minimum bid you have to start with if you want to play. Now, down here, you see my maximum bid is 0. I'm not bidding on this particular lot. I do not have a high bid. If I did, it would show here and the name on the title, and it says nickname, but that just means when you sign up, what name do you want on your account? And mine, of course, Marijuana Van Dyke, and high bid with 18 seconds, $2,580. Opening bid, 1,786. And let's see what it's going to go for. Now, while we're waiting on this to for the time to run down, you see that someone made a bid and now the time jumped back up to another minute. In the weeks and days leading up to this sale, I went through each and every single one of these properties. I looked up the parcel IDs. I went on the property appraiser's website. I did the GIS map, the Google Maps, and checked all of the different data points for the property, what it's worth, how much acreage it has, how much land, was there a house, was there a mobile home, what is it about the property that would make someone like me want to be interested in buying it. And I only saw 8 properties. So out of the 130, there are only 8 that I'm really interested in today. All 8 had lots that were over 1 acre, and most of those had more than one lot included. And when I say they had lots more than 1 acre, I'm talking about the actual parcel. The actual property was made up of the whole amount of acreage was over 1 acre. And within that 1 acre, it may have had 4 lots, 5, 6, or 7, basically meaning that depending on the zoning and what I'm allowed to do, I could buy that one piece of property and put a mobile home or a house on each of the individual lots that that property has. And so that is what I look for. And sometimes I don't separate them and put different homes on them. I'm drawing your attention here. We're down to 10 seconds in this auction. The high bid is $2,760 and it started off at $1,786.03. So less than 10 seconds, and pay attention to that high bid. Finalizing results, 987 up, and there it went. All right, so this one here, 1,870, and that was the high bid, and they just bidded about 20 bucks more than the 1,859 or $51 minimum bid. So basically, let me jump back to and finish what I was saying before that ended. So basically, I like to buy properties that give me a lot of different outs. And my outs are always something that I want to either use for my business or that I can resell and make money on, or resell to others with owner financing, trade, barter, everything. I like to come up with different creative solutions. But the best way for me to do that is to buy something that gives me more than what I need. If you buy one property and there's only one lot, you typically can do one thing with it, even though you can do a little more with that one. But if I buy a property like my current, I have a property that I'm working on now that you may have seen some YouTube videos. That property has 10 lots, and I'm going to be using all 10 of those lots. I'm not selling any. I'm using all 10 of them. But if it was one of these properties in Putnam County, which is a couple hours for me, maybe 2-ish, and that's still within my range, I would be putting mobile homes on each of those lots that I can within that property if allowed. And I would be selling those off, and typically on owner financing because I want some long-term income. All right, so we have less than 10 seconds, high bid 2110, opening bid 1851. And I think it's going, and up, someone bid it. And so the time jumps right back up to 1 minute and we start over. So let me tell you a little bit about the 130 lots that were in this Putnam County auction, and why out of all of those, and I'm using 130 loosely. I think it was about 130, give or take. So once I do the one video, if it says that it's 119, don't come back. "Ah, it was 130, whatever. It's between 100 and 130 or 140, 150, whatever it is. But a lot of these, the majority of them, and by majority, gosh, I want to say over half of these had total acreage amounts of a quarter acre, point two. There were a ton of these with 0.24 acres. And that's not surprising. I think, when the jurisdictions, it's early, the jurisdictions plot out their land, and they lay them out, and they lay them out in the lot and block sections that they use. They do it in a systematic way where each lot in each block is 100 feet wide, or 100 feet long, or 30 feet wide, something long, whatever it happens to be. There's no set standard. So whatever it happens to be, that's what it is. And so they are selling one of those lots. And that's why those are so small. And of course, you can buy more than one. In this same sale, there I saw about 15 properties, and they all belonged in the same subdivision, and the lots were one after another. Lot 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way to lot 20. And so a builder or someone who was perhaps buying it to do something with those, they ended up not paying the taxes. This is a tax deed sale. And when you don't pay your taxes, they take the property, they do the tax lien that you can buy too and earn some money. And once that goes on for a while, depending on the county, they will sell the property for the past tax amounts and any outstanding fees, and they sell it to the highest bidder. Speaking of highest bidder, this is at $2,480 with 43 seconds remaining. The opening bid was $1,851.79. Have you noticed that the opening bids have all been within the same price range? About 17, 1800. Did you notice that? And actually, some of them started off, a lot of them at 1200, 1300. That's because it has that standardized lot size that I was telling you about when I said that it seemed like almost half of them, point 0.2, point 0.20, point 0.24. It was so many, boom, 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 one after another, one after another. And so those are, of course, taxed at about the same amount because it's in the same county, same size lot, same jurisdiction. And so they are priced at about the same. This one is at $2,500 as a high bid. The property address is unassigned, which means there is no 911 address, which means that no one has gone through and done a building permit and applied for your 911 address, which is your street address. That they call it the 911 address. So basically, if you fell out because you couldn't afford your taxes and had a heart attack because you heard they were taking your property, what address would the fire truck and the ambulance come to? 911 address. There you go. All right, less than 10 seconds here. High bid 2610, started off at 18, and looks like it's gone. Yes, it is gone, and now they have moved to the next one. This one is opening bid $1,861, and the high bid is at 2110. Now, some of you might say, "Hey, this just popped up. How is the high bid at 20, how did it start off over $2,000 already?" It's because people like me, we go in and look at all of the counties that we're interested in. And we do this when they post the sale. So there is a calendar. And in the calendar, it tells you all of the tax dates. And when you click on the link in the calendar, you can see all of the properties, depending on how early you get in. Like if I go back a week or two ago, there might have only been, 40. And then, a couple days later, we're at 70. And then, 3 days ago, 130. And depending on the county, every county is different when they upload them. Who knows? But you have your favorite counties, and that is what you look at. And so this one is Putnam County, Florida. It has a number of different cities I won't go into, but if you're interested in Putnam County, Florida, it's rural. I'm here in rural Florida, and this is Florida, so everything sells. So that's where we are. But you can look at your own county at home. We're at 1 minute remaining, about 2,600 high bid, $1,861.31. And let's see, it only has one more minute to go. So in that 1 minute time, back to what I was saying about you can find your favorite areas that you want to invest. My favorite areas are right here in Florida. I like to invest in Georgia because some of you know I spent lots of years in Atlanta, Georgia. I owned and operated a real estate brokerage and investing, and ran different investing groups. And I'm an educator. And so, yes, I educate. I'm Dr. Marijuana Van Dyke. I have a PhD in education, former teacher, and so on, etc. But I am also an educator of real estate and businesses. And I do most of that, more of that than I do the other education. Most of the people on my jobs with education, they don't even realize I do this too. All right, that one's sold. And here we are at the new one, starting off at $1,756.33 with a high bid already of $2,110. And it's high because, again, people like me and others, we go in early and we put our first bid in so that we already know and can see the list of which ones we've bidded on and which ones we haven't, and to knock out cheap people. That's the other thing. Knock the cheap people out and go ahead and bid, because we've looked them up early. So we've also looked up the value. We know what they're worth. And so we don't always have to get them dirt cheap, because it's just, you don't want uneducated people running up the price on the lot that you want. So go ahead and kick them out early, especially if you know that it's worth quite a bit. So going to back to where I like to invest. So I already mentioned Georgia. I mentioned Florida, right where I am. Also, the Wisconsin. I do a lot of investing in and around Beloit. Not always in my own name. I work with other investors, especially folks who are really educators and realtors and real estate agents, realtors, and beginning investors who don't have a lot of time, who think they want to get into investing, but they don't want to, they're not sure, they don't want to spend a ton of money. And so I partner with them and we do small deals like this. I don't buy in Detroit. However, I've been part of a number of deals in Detroit. So if you're interested in buying from the land banks, I'm your girl. I can show you how to do that. I plan trips for all of us to get together and meet and go to the different auctions and to visit the properties. And of course, a lot of the auctions are online. So we sit together just like this after we've gone through all of the properties. We pay the, couple bucks that the land bank charges, 25, 35 bucks, I think is the going, 35 is the rate now. And so we get to see each of the properties, walk through them, meet contractors, meet with the land bank folks. And that is we do that as a 2-3 day event. And those are the type of retreats that I run. And so if you're ever looking for a workshop slash retreat dealing with real estate and getting your wealth building and side hustle going, yeah, that's me. So check out my website, actionasempowerment.org. And I don't have the retreats listed on there, but because I can't have 1,001 people reaching out and signing up for them, so I only put them out when it's time. Because again, I am a educator, and so I also do that job as well, and I have to prioritize my time. All right. Let me put you back in this auction of the tax deed sales with Putnam County. Right now, less than 10 seconds. The high bid is at 2,510. Opening bid 1,851. And this is the parcel ID number. High bid. Next one, that one's sold. And you see how fast they get these through? Man, they get these things out of there. Out of there. All right, now here's the other thing. I want to show you this. We're at page 1 of 11. So there were 13 pages of auctions. And I think I don't think their pages are, would it Taraji P. Henson say the math ain't mathin'? So I think we're further in the auction than the only 2 pages. These go just way too quick. And I was on here for quite a while before something said ding, 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 ding. Go ahead and do the video so people can see this. Every single week I do this. And then I talk about it. And they're like, oh my gosh, why did you show us? All right, so here we go. This one, parcel ID 02-10-24-4075-1930-0040. All the dashes count, all the numbers count, even the zeros in the front. That parcel ID is essentially the address. It's the address. Yes, there is a 911 address I talked about, but the parcel ID number is the identification number that the property appraiser's department and office of that county. That's how they do the address. And this one has a 00 unassigned location, which means it doesn't have an official 911 address. However, it does have a high bid of 2,410. And I'm not going to leave this screen. You know how you have to share the screen, then you go in and pick the different screens. So on my other screens that are open are all the different properties that I am following. And like I said, I only have about 8. And I don't think I'm bidding today. I won't go into why. Maybe I'll talk about it in the follow-up when I talk about Putnam County. But it really has to be something that blows my skirt up. And by blow my skirt up, I mean, it's got to be woo! And my skirt just flies up. So I didn't see anything that blows my skirt up, but I did see those 8. And this, again, is a rural county. And and there's a lot there are a lot of tax deed investors because these properties go so cheap, but they're also tiny and small. And so the barrier to entry is not high. Like right now, here, they started the opening bid on this particular one at $1,380. Lots of people would love to have a piece of land at under $1,500, right? And look at the high bid with 22 seconds. It's only at 2,520. Lots of people would love to have a lot of land that's theirs. It is a deeded piece of land that they own for $2,500. And so when you check these sales, I just want to point out less than 10 seconds. Check that, watch that high bid. All right. So finalizing, sold, boom. It moved quick. But as a reminder, I will go back and go through this auction again and just show you that list of what the opening bids were and what the sale price was. And we don't have to wait and watch for all of these minutes and with me talking and keeping you company while you're watching this right now. All right. And so back to what I was saying about the reason why I don't buy in Putnam County a lot, unless it blows my skirt up. Whee! So, yeah, the barrier of entry. And so that last one sold for about 2,580-ish, which is not bad. Guys, for a piece of property that size, that 0.24 acres that a lot of them are, honey, you could put a mobile home on that. You can rent that thing out. You could move in it. Again, this is Florida. Everywhere is beautiful. You can move in it. You can use it for recreation. Whatever the zoning is there, which you have to check. That's why you start early reviewing these properties. Ding, ding, ding. Whatever the zoning is, you can do that. And then it's yours. You can rent it. You can sell it. You can borrow against it depending on what's on it and, who's giving you the money. There's so much you can do with real estate. You can trade it. You can barter it. Oh, I love trading and bartering. Oh my goodness. That is one of my favorites. Honey, we live on 4 acres and I got stuff here that I have bartered my way. I'll tell you about moving to Florida really quick. But before I do that, I want to show you back to this auction. Look at this high bid, $4,210. It started off at 1,885. So, because the opening bid on this one was 1,885, I am going to tell you with about 90% certainty that this was not one of these smaller lots. This lot was slightly larger because as I went through, I kind of ranked them in the different sizes and I looked at what the opening bid was on those, on those larger parcels. And it's pretty standardized, the 1885. It's because if someone didn't pay their taxes, the counties tax the same, parcels in the same county, the same area, same zoning. It has to be the same across the board, and if it is, then the tax rate is typically the same. Now, don't come back and go, there's one out of a million is different. They not all the same marijuana. What you smoking? So they are typically all the same. So, all right, we're in high bid 4,610 with 19 seconds remaining with an opening bid of 1,885. And I think, without me flipping back into my notes, I think this might have been one of those that had the half acre, or there were a couple that had a 1.26 acres. and the ones that I liked, and they had anywhere from 5 to 10 lots associated with it. And so, hmm, um, 46 seconds. So someone bid, look at it, 5,050. This one is popular. Look at that. I can't wait to give you an example of what these look like. Next time I go in and show you this Putnam County, the results auction video, what everything sold for. I am going to pull up some of these high bid ones, and compare them for you to the low bid ones. Okay, so again, someone's bid it up and it's back at 1 minute. So I promised to tell you about the bartering. We moved to Florida a number of years ago. We still lived in Wisconsin slash Illinois, kind of on the line, the state line, and we had a lot. You know, we're homesteaders. For those of you that don't know, we live on acreage here and there. We raise animals, goats, pigs, ducks, chickens, turkeys, guinea fowl, bees, rabbits, peacocks, you name it, we raise it. And so, and also my husband's a welder. And so he has all the welding equipment, all of this. I do real estate. I, I have more tools than I have tools and building materials. And oh my gosh, guys, you have no idea how much big stuff we had. And you know how people say, "Oh, throw it away." Wait, hold on. The bid is at $6,010. $6,010 with less than 10 seconds. Finalizing $6,010 was that sale. Okay, we got to look back and see which one that was. All right, we're at the next one, and check this out. This one's Crescent City, Florida. And I just want to point out, before I go back to that story, this has a property address. That means that there was the time taken to go and get the 911 property address. So that might have been when the subdivision itself was created, and they went in and assigned each and every lot an address, or it may mean, I doubt it, but sometimes people look at it and go, "Oh, there's a house there." Not always. Or, "Oh, it's got utilities." Not always. Or, "Oh, it's got a septic tank." No, not always. And this one doesn't. I went through all 100-ish properties to check to see if any one of them had any improvements, which was all the utilities, if any of them had a house, and if any of them had a mobile home of any kind, because then I was interested in buying. So none of them had that. So, but a lot of them did have the address. And hey, 911 address, at least in my county, hey, that's $50 during the building permit that you don't have to do. Now, the building permit is not 50. Part of the building permit process includes getting a 911 address if your property doesn't have one. That small piece of the whole building department permitting process for taking a piece of vacant land and making it where you can actually build something on it, that small, tiny piece, that was the $50. Yeah. So the time remaining, 41 seconds, high bid, $6,030. Okay, so I was explaining to you how the bartering and how much stuff my welding husband, me with all my tools, building materials, equipment, resale items, and go on and on and on, how much all of that stuff we had. And people, "Oh, just throw everything away and rebuy it rebuy it when you get there, and it'll be the same." That is a bald-faced lie. Don't believe that. So we brought our stuff with us. And we had a 24, 26 foot camper because we're campers too, um, with two slide outs. And we were sending that ahead a week or two before we were actually moving to Florida, so that they could set it up on our property, hook it up to the septic, hook it up to the water, hook it up to the electric. And to make a long story short, that guy kept lying. The person we had hired to bring it kept lying, saying, "Oh yeah, 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 I'm picking it up. Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah, tomorrow." And then 2 days later, I would drive past our old house that we sold, because I'm, you know, I'm like that. Ugh, I have a soft heart. So I want to see all my old properties. And I'd be like, why is my RV still sitting there? And then I would call and he would go, no, 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 no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. My daughter got sick. It's leaving. It's leaving. And finally, we just had to go because it was time. And we really needed to be here. We had not, I bought this property that we live in. I bought this sight unseen. I didn't even come down to look. Um, I felt like it was a good enough deal that if if this property was so bad that it had to be torn down and a new mobile home or house put on it, it was still worth it. And so, hey, it don't matter then when that's the case. If we get there and we see that it can be fixed up, cool. If we get there and see that it can't be fixed up, cool. We got an RV. That fool never did pick it up. And so I bartered it for moving um, to Florida. And so the deal was I would barter the travel trailer for 2 runs to Florida. So taking all of our stuff, and here's an idea of how much. If we were moving it on our own, we would have had 2 of the biggest U-Hauls, or one of the big, huge semi trucks, and another half of a semi truck. And so, yeah, I got so many offers to move us, and we went with a guy. And when I tell you he had that done in 2 days, I don't even know how he managed that, but he did in 2 days. And he was so grateful to get that title to that travel trailer. And I was so grateful to save all of that money on getting moving cost. Because, hey, we moving to Florida. What is in Florida? Older folks and RVs, people. We in the home of RVs. And speaking of investing, I invest in RVs too, right? Buy and sell them, buy low, sell high, fix them up a little bit, barter some of them. Yeah, we can talk about that too. All right, get back to the auction. Time remaining 24 seconds. High bid 6,510. The opening bid was $1,876.24. I told you about how this property parcel ID number has the property address already assigned. The property address is there, 122 Colonial Avenue in Crescent City. The Crescent City. Princess and the Frog, y'all. All right. 53 seconds, 6,510. And speaking of Princess and the Frog, while I was working on all of this, there were a few of these in Crescent City. And so as soon as I heard Crescent City, I went and did my Princess and the Frog, y'all. And I had to put that movie on so I could watch it. All right. So we are at 39 minutes on this video. Okay, that's long enough. So I'm going to stop this here. And then I am going to do a new one when this whole thing is over. And I am going to just do it and go through and show what the property sold for, each property in the auction, what was the opening bid and what was the sales price. And that's it. And that one shouldn't be 39 minutes because we have to wait for the bidding. That video, I'm just going to run it down. This parcel ID number, the starting bid was 1,876 and it sold for this amount. And I don't think that screen is going to show me how big the parcel of land is. So what I think I'll do is just tell you my 8 that I picked out of the 100-ish that I'm still debating. I don't ever know if I'm gonna bid. It just depends. It depends. I don't know. Putnam County is a little bit a ways from me, and I don't mind. I mean, listen to me. I invest out of state all the time. Don't even go. Just I wake up like, ooh, Beloit Auction got a house for sale. My airplane is about to take off in 2 minutes. I'm sitting on the airplane and they're telling us to turn off our phones. And I'm calling, hey, can I'm on an airplane. I'm gonna send this is my highest offer. Can you make my bid for me until then? And so that's me. That's me. All right. So I'm gonna end this here and we'll talk soon and be on the lookout for that second video, actionasempowerment.org, marijuana, Van Dyke, speaker, educator, not just in the education field, but also helping your mind and making your money right. Health, wealth, financials, and that real estate investing and the other stuff that goes along with it. Once you start real estate investing, if I can get you to start thinking about that, and even if you don't want to do real estate investing, maybe I'll talk you into doing some resales. Start small, build it up, blow your skirt up. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.